All right, man. Stay bomb bad. Peace.
Welcome to the Digibowl on Fox Kids with your host, Terry Bradshaw.
Look at me. I get to host the first Digibowl. The first. Super Bowls, they come and go. But the Digibowl, now that's exciting stuff. But can't do it alone, so luckily I have two authentic Digi-Destins, Izzy and Kari, helping me. First, let's check in with my sideline correspondent, Kari. Maybe she can tell us what in the heck a Digibowl is.
Avant que ce soit l'émeute et que tu me piques la vedette. Bon allez, salut à tous et à bientôt pour un nouveau Fréquence Kong. Ouf, un peu plus, c'était lui la star. Je l'ai échappé méga belle.
On a eu l'échappée belle. Frôler l'amour de peu. On a eu l'échappée belle.
I am hooked. Binge watching The Mandalorian. Oh my God.
Easy with that.
Unbelievable.
Take it easy.
It's on Disney. Check it out for yourself. I actually think it's better than the Star Wars movies. Just great.
Pokemon. Pocket Monster. The Spiral. And it stands for what? Male fertility. It's supposed to be able to mesmerize and hypnotize its enemies. This character over here is called Mewtwo. Every time that you see Mewtwo, he's in this pose. 3 fingers. It means hail Satan. Cute little one. Everybody, okay, everybody go, oh, come on. His tail. It's a lightning bolt. And it's a satanic Z. The Pokemon trading card game is a new collectible card game that is made and distributed by Wizards of the Coast. What is a wizard? Male practitioner of black magic. Cute little Pokemon. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Oh, I know, he's cute, isn't he? Little satanic tail. Let the camera get a view of that. These pocket monsters are creatures that inhabit the world with humans. Gotta catch them all. You don't need mom. You don't need dad. You don't need grandparents. You don't need aunts and uncles. You don't need school. And you probably don't even need a church. Because you're a master. This rap song that's played over again. And it says, I will travel across the land searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. And then it's enchanted to them. Gotta catch them all. Here's the next character. This is Misty. Look at this. If this was actually clear, you'd see that that's a halter top. It stops right there.
Welcome to the Bombad Cast.
What is up, Bombad fam? It is me, your boy, the Cannon Junkie. Welcome to the weekly show, the Bombad Cast. We come here we talk about all of our favorite things about Star Wars and Star Wars adjacent things. This is the show that is absolutely packed to the brim with pagan fertility symbols. Absolutely it is. It just, if you look at all the things in Scotty and I's background, just absolutely just packed full of just fertile. It's fertile as the fields of corn. You know what? It's good to be here with you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and bring my boy Scotty in because I'm excited to get to talking about what we're going to talk about today. Because we are talking about me and Scotty's favorite thing, and that is more clips of George Lucas during The Phantom Menace. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm gonna bring in my boy, the one, the only, Scotty Gero.
Hey, mate, who invited you here?
Preach, Jerry.
Yeah,
The fact,
Scotty,
because we know we've done the research. We know,
We've done
and I'll
much.
say it. I've read a lot on this just because of the midichlorian book. By the way, get your copy today.
Right. Yeah,
this is
get
the
it
not for
on
resale.
Amazon.
This is the official, original numero uno. But get your copy. Okay, number one, do that. Number two, I've done so much research on the Phantom Menace alone for the sake of this book and the sake of other things, curiosity as well, that I know that it was said that the directors, which I did not get pulled up, but the people that did shoot the beginning had over 900 hours worth of media, I guess, made. Okay, they didn't specify it was audio recordings or video. So 900.
Yeah.
And so now we've seen we've definitely seen 1 hour of the beginning, and then we've got now, like, I would say, an additional 10 minutes at most. So like, where's where's the other 898 in 45 minutes, right? I don't know. Don't know about you. Waiting for it.
Release the George cut.
My wife, and I'm saying this, she might be watching right now. I would give up 10 years worth of salary pay just to have that footage at my disposal.
To have it. Can you imagine if we got our hands on a black market copy of that footage? What would it we've already got, we would have 10 Georgism videos.
Oh yeah.
Each an hour long.
By the way,
so fantastic.
If anyone hasn't seen that, I forget, it was originally on the BTB network as Why We Love George Lucas.
Yeah,
it did not do as well there. So it's actually found a better life where it's at now on our page. And honestly, out of the two of the most commented on videos, of course, being the viral reaction video, this is second. Everyone loves this.
That's
video.
insane.
I know, it's insane.
It's so good. It's you guys did a great job editing that video.
Shit.
You and Eric, absolutely.
Oh my God.
I was just telling, because someone at work was asking me, he's like, "Hey, you're doing your show tonight?" I said, "Yeah." And he what, I said, we were going to be talking about, and I tried to explain Georgisms to this person. Have you ever tried to explain Georgisms to someone who is not obsessed with George Lucas?
So we wrote it is because we wrote the definition in the video. I'm trying to actually go back to the original upload. The video is now titled George Lucas Being George Lucas, which is just I think it's a good title. It's better than Why We Love George Lucas. And it's sitting at 22,000 views, and it's been getting over 1,000 hours in watch time. We've gained 41 subscribers from that one video. And honestly,
welcome. And you are our people. You're the people that we make content for. If you came here because of that video.
Literally. And what's crazy is in the last 2 days, this is 48 hours, we've made over 1,500 views on the video. So I really can't figure out why.
Really?
It's the more popular of the ones. So
George-gasms are there might be some George-gasms in that 800 or so hours. We'll have to see. I don't know.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
There's gotta be.
They definitely caught him a couple of times. Just he's writing about Jar Jar Binks sitting in his room all by himself, his goon cave.
I love this because this actually perfectly ties into what we're talking about. This was unexpected. I'll give a little bit of backstory. I knew the second season was coming. I did not realize how different it would be being directed by Joe Johnston. I really love it. The last thing I watched that was made by Joe Johnston, if I'm not mistaken, was Captain America in 2011. So I don't know how much he's made in between. Let me look it up. Joe Johnston.
It's just not bad.
I have no idea.
Not bad. Yeah.
I loved Captain America when it came out.
Captain America, the First Avenger, was really good. It came out at an interesting time, right? Because it was the beginning of the MCU. Superhero movies were still very much a thing. They were coming out pretty consistently at that point. I was working at a theater when this came out. But it had so much flavor of Indiana Jones meet that same superhero flavor, but with a little more. It was a little more. it was one that dared. It was one of the early ones that dared to be a little more comic booky. I remember the Marvel when the MCU started. They were like, "Screw it, we're going to be like straight up comic book." Like we're gonna do like until then they tried to do everything grounded, especially after the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, no, that's a great. Yeah, that's a great.
So in between, this is the only things in between. From 2011 to 2025, he did Captain America in 2011, Not Safe for Work, which I'm really not familiar with what that is. Then he did.
That's when you look at porn at work. You're not supposed to do that.
Oh, okay. That's true. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I remember when this came out in 2018. I did not go see it.
Really?
Yes. And
I remember that.
And then the next project was Light and Magic. So he's only had like 4 projects in between.
Joe,
Captain America and this, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Directorially speaking.
Joe is a very chill guy. He takes his time, he bides his time. So yeah.
So
I can appreciate
having him directing it felt a little bit different than like Lawrence Kasdan season 1 for a couple of reasons, honestly. Lawrence Kasdan's very, and you obviously think of Empire, you think of Return of the Jedi, you think of Force Awakens, you think of
Solo,
Indiana Jones, you think of so many things, right? That's just Lawrence Kasdan. And then you're watching this and like Joe Johnston's like taking, I would say, bigger swings creatively. He kind of knows that this is for the behind the scenes people that have already watched a lot of the behind the scenes features. So he's not giving us any old information. Everything in this doc was new. So that's what I love. That means he watched the beginning. That means he watched the Attack of the Clones doc. And that means he totally watched what's it? Under 5 minutes? Isn't that the Revenge of the Sith title one? Isn't it?
I believe it
within 5 minutes.
Correct us in the chat.
Yeah, but honestly, for those that don't know, and this may be your first time really tuning into one of these kind of streams, Jerry and I's true love is behind the scenes. Like, I love the movies and the themes and digesting everything, but this is it for me. This is it. It really is.
And I think you look, and I love that too, because watching these documentaries, watching the first season of Light and Magic made me wish that I could change my life to make. I want to make movies. It makes me, watching stuff like this makes me want to make movies. Yeah. Like it makes me wish I'd taken that different path. We talking about, like, we've been talking a lot about Lost in Translation since you've been back from Japan.
Don't do it to me.
Oh, we might. But yeah, no, it's an interesting, especially like to go, like, you grow up like hearing all these things, like especially about the prequels and stuff. That the big thing was, oh, it's all digital, it's all like done on green screen. It's like, can you believe George Lucas made them act in front of it? And there are some shots in this of, like,
and they talk about it.
Like there's like the one guy like who's like the in between young Boba and old Django, who's like sitting there eating in front of a green screen, and stuff. I mean, sure. But the miniature work, the things, like, I didn't know that Padme's apartment until watching this was a miniature. And maybe that was just something that I'd overlooked. I don't know if that's a revelation for anyone else, but the fact that was a miniature blew my mind and stuff. The stuff they were doing with the lava in Revenge of the Sith.
But I love that at episodes, because
that looks all digital. All that looks all digital, honestly.
It does. The thing is, we say that, but it wasn't in the way of obviously we knew that the Boon to Eve, obviously the entire arena was a real set. We knew that for years, but seeing it from these different angles, and like they had one shot from the ground looking up at the actual, like, where Jabba was sitting. I was just blown away, like how good it looked, even in the behind the scenes camera. But all that to being said, I'm watching this, and the structure of it was brilliant, where they had episode 1 was a lot about the Phantom Menace. Episode 2 is a lot about, Attack of the Clones with other great stuff sprinkled in. And then the third episode was the first part of it was all Revenge of the Sith. And then you get to pirates, and you get to all the things dealing with War of the Worlds. And you're like, I'm loving this, because that means they had to ask so many different companies for the rights to use that footage. And like, I don't know. you see a name like Joe Johnston, you're like, oh, why wouldn't we say yes to this? And I got to say one thing, because I want Woodsy to realize this too.
Please.
And everyone in the chat, thank you for all being here tonight. It's so nice to see a lot of you. You know, it's been a minute since we've done like a Bomb Bad cast proper. And I agree. I love this, Trey. I mean, it's probably the best behind the scenes documentary that I've seen since these DVD ones we had growing up.
Yeah, it would be great to get a job at ILM in the 70s and like slip and slide into work. That would be great.
Literally, could be amazing.
Yeah, let's go.
This is the one realization I want Woodsy to have among other people in this chat. You watch this whole entire series, whole thing, all 3 episodes, and you notice there are interviews with Jon Favreau. There are interviews with Spielberg, which you get a good bit of Spielberg. There are interviews with J.J. Abrams, and those 2 are the most important to me. And they are only in there for one single clip at the beginning. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because if I'm going to be honest here, there's a season 3 in the works. There has to be. You don't get J.J. Abrams to sit down and go, I just didn't think it was possible. And then cut. No.
Yeah, like great JJ.
Great. Perfect. No, I'm telling you, I'm thinking in a year from now, when they need some more stuff, because they're the only shows coming out after Andor are going to be Shadow Warrior and Ahsoka season 2. So I think they're going to need to fill in the gaps. So I think there is a season 3 that has already been filmed that's going to cover, I would say, a lot of early Marvel. I would say it's going to cover a lot of things dealing with ILM. You know, the change to the Disney era. Like, I think there's a lot to be captured and focused on later. So that's something I want everyone to kind of sit there and think, oh yeah, that shot of Favreau for 1 second, ain't no way that's going to be the one thing they use from all of this.
I agree, and I want it.
And Star Trek 09.
That's true. Oh yeah, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't, this was a very good end cap of, because it was the closing. It was the closing of that shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the original ILM.
Yeah.
Because everything again has moved to the offices in San Francisco, and so it would be interesting to continue and go into that new era and stuff. So I hope, because can you imagine getting footage behind the scenes, like as gritty as Disney will let them get, about like, I want to be in, we've all talked in group chats, at bars, wherever, about how amazing it would be to get the beginning with Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, just to be back behind the scenes for that. To see the gritty, like, like what I want to see, all the drama. I want to see what went down. I want. That's the thing. What was going on?
Because I agree with you. The only thing we got that was closer to was the director and the Jedi, and that was it. And it was good, and it was nitty gritty, and it was focused. Good. It was focused. But the Rise of Skywalker one's a little bit more artful. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, the Force Awakens one is just like, we're going back. It was that whole kind of era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JJ talking about putting Jar Jar's bones in the fucking desert and shit. Like
that. Kill myself. Anyway, this was actually the complete opposite of putting Jar Jar's bones in the desert. So how we're going to talk about this, Jerry did a bunch of really awesome things. We had a bunch of things in mind for this one discussion in particular. We both decided that we're going to pick 5 moments that we would like to focus on from all 3 of these episodes that we can rant and talk about and look at. And unfortunately, I'll tell you this, when they elected the new Pope today, I was at work, obviously, and I work at a Catholic school. So like everything got derailed. Like I had plans on clipping out literally 7 or 8 different moments that I had written down. One of them being the Rick McCallum entrance that, I'm not joking, made me tear up on the flight back home. Not even joking. I was like, there's my boy. They got my boy. Because at the Light and Magic panel and Celebration, like they didn't bring up Rick was going to be in this at all. So that was one of the best surprises ever.
That was, I was losing my mind whenever, like, because you hadn't, I was talking to you saying you're going to lose your shit. I said you're going to shit a brick and you're going to love it, because it's like so. It's so much our shit. The way they put the way Rick enters the scene, it's like if Scotty and I wrote
Legitimately.
It's like they made an AI that thinks like Scotty and I, you know.
It was like the mafia boss. You had to go through the tank. The tank.
Yeah, the
or whatever they
mafia.
called him.
I've written down I have written down 5 moments.
Okay,
but
okay.
I've written down a lot. I've written down a lot more things than just the 5 moments. I don't know if
Me
you
too.
have as well.
I did. Yes, of course.
Yeah, me and you were like, yeah, we're like writing down all because I love, and I think Scotty focuses more on the actual behind the scenes stuff that is really cool. I've got a couple of those things. I focus more on the weird quirks of George Lucas himself and like other people because I just think the man is a fascinating, wonderful Santa-like entity.
Yes.
And anyway, I'm excited to get into this with you. So let's break into it.
I like that because that means we can bounce off each other in these ways.
Yeah.
I don't have a particular order, but I know in terms of good to great is in my list. The things that I liked were the movies. This is my first one. This is not number one. This is number 5, really, if you think about it. I liked learning about movies I wasn't expecting to learn about. I love that. I have never heard of Perfect Storm. Never heard of it. Didn't know that was even a thing.
You didn't know that was okay. Because that shot of them going up that wave like lived in that whatever year that came out. I forget what year that came
2000.
out. I remember that lived everywhere.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
I didn't see the movie.
Okay.
But I saw that all over television, all over like everywhere. That wave scene was everywhere and stuff.
Yep.
So I haven't seen. I need to watch it. But I knew
watching it.
Perfect Storm was huge.
I just never thought about water being difficult to animate in that way.
That was interesting.
I almost thought, and this is how naive I am about the VFX world in that way. I thought that'd be one of the easier things to figure out how to animate, just the idea of like weight and physics, but they had to create the engines that made it. And so that then ties into like Twister, which I of course seen, and I haven't seen the sequel. But
Twister was one of my favorite movies.
Yes, my dad loved that movie.
As a kid growing up in Arkansas, funny enough, I loved that movie.
Oh, I love this. Okay, this is funny. Woodsy says you have no idea how big the Perfect Storm was in New England. Oh, fill us in because I knew nothing about it.
Sincerely, it was huge. Again, in 2000, it was great, and then like something happened in 2001 that just took everyone's attention away from the Perfect Storm. Or whatever. I think it was Titanic. Right? Oh, that was 1999.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That was 97.
No, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it was. Yeah.
Here I am watching this documentary. I'm learning about movies I'd never known before, but I love that they didn't spend that much time on Jurassic Park because that was already a huge focus of Light and Magic season 1.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that was back. They went all in season 1. So
I love that, and I love that this is a weird because season 1 even kind of caps off like everything from 2000 on in a weird way, whereas this one kind of like, oh, let's go back to the Phantom Menace, let's go back to everything. So my number 5 is learning about other movies like Pirates. Obviously I've like spoke to Hal Hickel, like him and I are Facebook friends, and like I always forget that he is an Oscar award winning VFX director. Like I messaged him about Kiss one time, because he was at the final Kiss show that I was at too. And so we went back and forth for a little bit and come to find out ILM worked on the Kiss Avatar. So like, it was cool seeing him in this again. And I don't know, I really enjoyed learning about other projects. Jumanji, learned so much about Jumanji in this too. Like the particle physics. I never realized, and I didn't even know that guy existed. I've never seen that guy before who was like the particle physics
new guy.
Yes,
right.
he was a new lore drop for me, and I love this stuff. But literally, I'm like, this man is new. I've never seen this man before. And like, what does he do? And that,
and he helped create a couple movies that I love. Jumanji and Twister were huge in my childhood.
Yep,
they were big staples. Absolutely.
So that was a big one for me. And also, I love, and this is my last part for this mention, I love how much they focused on before the Phantom Menace came out, after Jurassic Park. There were like just little bits of CG were used, and like, Robert Zemeckis being a great example. Like and also you have one blurb from him, nothing else. He's totally in season 3 somehow. he's gonna be talking about what's the train Christmas movie Like that's gonna be his thing because that was all ILM.
Polar Express. Polar Express. Yeah.
That was ILM. That was all
gotta
him.
pull-
That was so like, I don't know. Think about that for a second. So, the one thing I wanted to say about all that was I love that they even brought in those aspects of it, like the idea of the feather in Forrest Gump, or how incredible it was for like the ping pong scene, like how that was all digital and it just slowly assimilated into the culture, not being this giant change. So yeah, that was number 5 for me. What's your Georgism?
Okay, so my first, so the first thing, and we'll consider this number 5. Even though I numbered this, I numbered this differently there, so they're not like descending order or whatever. My first thing that really stuck out to me was George checking if the mic was on when he's going to announce more Star Wars movies.
I wonder if I could play it without playing it out loud.
I don't know if you'd be able to, but like just like remember and then like he's like fumbling with it or something, and then someone goes, "It's on," or something. Like you hear someone go, "The mic's on."
Hold on. I gotta mute it.
All just so you can go, I'm kind of thinking about doing more Star Wars movies.
That's literally it. It's
I
like
think I'm gonna make more Star Wars.
Of the first one too, if I'm not mistaken. No, they talk about how they call him in. It's not the opening shot. Oh, one more thing. In his nice ass house, and the jet's like a little boy.
Have some this. I flew this in from Italy this morning. I love how just blissful. He's so blissful. He's just like blissfully ignorant of like the cares of the world.
I just wish he knew how much we loved him.
Yeah. I said something to you last night. What if like someone has? Do you think the chances are that someone has mentioned to George that there is a Jar Jar Binks centric themed podcast? They have Jar Jar Binks in their logo. We would be his favorite, don't you think?
We would be in a heartbeat.
We would immediately be his favorite.
He would see my book and go, "Oh yeah, these guys know what the fuck they're talking about. These guys get it, man." I can't find this clip. This is so frustrating. It's one of the best parts of the whole doc.
It's really good.
Is it on?
I've got more. Listen, we're not gonna find them all. Although we did find one. We did find one that is like one of my favorite. I don't know if I wrote down. This is one of my 5 or Hold on. Okay. No, this is one of my bullet points. And if we can't find this, we can just do the bullet point. This is the clip that is going to become a Bombad clip.
Oh, forever.
It is already a Bombad clip. I was gonna say, do we have it in the thing already?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Loaded. We'll just go ahead and play that real quick since we can't find this right now. But this may be the funniest. I laughed my damn ass off when this happened because it comes out of nowhere, right? Like they're talking about Jar Jar, right? And they're talking about dare to be dopey and stuff like that. And like, if you think you're being too like, if you think you're being too over the top, keep going.
Dare to be dopey and dare to be cute were the two George
dare to be
lines.
Cute. Yes.
Dare to be cute. I like that. That was awesome.
But it's Doug Chang. It's a long segment with Doug Chang, and it's beautiful, and he's talking about doing the art and everything, and talking about how he's not classically trained, so he doesn't feel like he's good at art. But Doug Chang is a fucking badass, as we all know.
Yes, of course.
And in the middle of this, like very impassioned, very like Doug centric part of this episode, there's this clip of George entering a room, and anytime George enters a room or someone enters a room George is in, something hilarious happens for some reason. I don't know what it is. That's just the law of physics. So here's what happens when George enters this room. I'm just going to go ahead and play it. This is the one that I said that like we're going to have film at 11. So here we go.
Yes.
It is almost 11. So
I don't know if y'all can really hear the raspy high pitch like of that hello. It kills me. Listen one more time.
Jerry, I think your microphone changed settings and you clicked on the clip. I don't know what happened. It sounds like a tin can right now.
Oh yeah, no, that's my hello. That's just my hello voice.
I clipped killed Jerry's mic. Hello.
Hello.
I'll play it again. That shit is hilarious. It's such, but it means so well. He's being goofy. He's like, this is day 15.
That is the dad at the daughter's slumber party, like walking in to see if they need more pizza. You know what I mean?
Hello. Spilled a drink.
Would you like some booze?
God, that's perfect.
Yeah. Would you like some stuffed crust?
Stuffed crust pizza, please. Hello.
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 Grandpa coded George. For real.
So what number was that? Is that number 4 for you then? Is that your number 4?
No, that's just a bullet point. That's just,
it's a bullet point.
I'm telling you. That should be probably like we'll tack that on to George checking to see if the mic was on.
Yes,
because that is just a beautiful moment.
That was beautiful. Can I give you my number 4?
Please.
I love that. This is the big one. I forget his name. Give me a second. This is my number 4. So you understand where I'm going from this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, here it is. Oh hell, that's not his name. Anyway, I'm watching this, and then that guy from Hero shows up.
Yes!
Like, I never watched Hero.
Mossy,
okay,
right?
Yes.
I never watched Heroes either. Yeah.
But I remember seeing the trailer. It was like a huge show for a long time, from like 06 to 2010. It was everywhere. And Mossy showed up, and apparently he wrote the code for like particle stuff that ILM uses still. I'm like, what an
and then they're like,
insane drop.
And then they're like, yeah, and then he just was an actor on Heroes and stuff like that, you know, like, yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Jack of all trades, Mossy. So,
I know. Couldn't believe it. That was a great moment. But what I loved about that was that it then led into the idea that there's people that work for ILM that don't necessarily stay there forever, in the sense of like, this man did this and then left and did like one of the most popular TV shows of my childhood. You know, like, it's just, I love that ILM is a jumping off point for so many people, and that this person was working in the 90s at ILM. Another example I saw had one line, no interview, was Adam Savage. Adam Savage from Mythbusters had that, like,
I was gonna say
2-second. Yes, you did.
I was gonna say
Attack of the Clones. He was working on Attack of the Clones, and they were building Padme's apartment. And he was like, it was like, I guess it might have been 2000 or 2001, but like before Mythbusters. So I was like, that was really cool to see. So like those kind of things that are like, if you're a huge fan, you're like in the weeds, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff you notice. So
like, these are the guys, these are the people you're looking for at the bar. It's not necessarily like you're not looking for Adam Driver. You're looking for we're looking for Masioka, right?
Well, that's how I felt when I met Rob Coleman. No one went up to him. It was just me. I was like the only person that went up to him. I'm like, oh my God, can I talk to you and take your picture? Get a picture?
Yeah.
You know, here's my book. He was like, yeah, he was like, oh my God, so nice to talk to you. He's like, yeah, you know, you're the kind of fan we made it for, you know, and I'm like, this is amazing, you know?
Awesome.
So that was my number 4. Just the idea of like this ILM is a jumping off point for so many people's careers, like Joe Johnston, even like he worked on these movies with George, and then he went on to make other amazing movies. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love it that it's a good place to, you know what I mean? Good place to start somewhere and then end up somewhere you didn't expect, or stay there like John Knoll, who stayed there and pitched Rogue One. So like, there's so many beautiful things. So what's your next Georgism?
My number 2 was the Casper thing. Okay, so we got this is okay. I don't know. Like, I was like definitely like just paying attention to the things George was doing, because this is like just ridiculous.
Okay, what's this one? I was trying to find it.
In one of George's interview segments from like today, George changes cheap to inexpensive mid
Yes.
where it goes,
Yes.
yeah, it was very cheap, inexpensive. Like, like, and then he kind of like laughs to himself a little bit. Like,
I can literally find that exact moment because that was whenever Rick, it's like
cheap,
right before Rick showed up.
Expensive. I mean, you know what I mean?
Like here, I hope we don't get attacked. Hold on, I found the exact.
We're
moment
going
you're
to.
referring
It's fine. Hey, what's up, Ken? Ken Plume stopping by.
Ken Plume. Let's see.
Issue to solve there.
The reason that we made so much money was because the films were so cheap, so inexpensive.
The film was so cheap, very inexpensive.
It's so good because you know what he meant and he knows what he meant. You know?
Yeah.
He's worried about money. Bless his heart. No shit.
Films himself.
He goes, so cheap, so inexpensive.
And he goes, man, I love.
Look at that smile.
No, that's
I want to. That damn smile.
All right, everyone. Oh yes. Okay, Cherry, let's both smile like that, and we'll take a picture. Okay. Perfect.
I think I got I'm gonna have to cosplay as George in LA, aren't I?
God, I would pay for.
Would you do? Can we do a George and Rick cosplay?
I'll be Rick. I'm just
Can we do that, please? Yes, yeah, please. We've got to do it. We've got to do it and go around in character all day. Like, I made this. I made this. I made this. This is free. This is free.
Yep,
this is
right.
I can have 10 of these.
Get Liam on the phone. Get Liam on the phone.
I don't care what Trump says. I can have like 42 of these things.
Here we go. You ready? Here we got to do it. We got talk about it now.
Oh, is he gonna do it? I was gonna say Rick. I've got another thing. Rick described. This is the footnote underneath this. Rick described as a 1,000-pound gorilla and a mob boss. It was fantastic.
Wait, I was gonna play it real quick. Hold on.
Play it.
And that was the secret to the whole thing.
Well, plus you had Rick McCallum.
Yeah.
I swear to God, George is related to, like, this is how the men in my family act. I swear to God, this is my father. I swear to God, my father acts like, yeah.
I just love that George Johnson's like, and you had Rick McCallum. And like, I just love that automatically has an air of mystery to it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's like one of the 2 times you hear Joe Johnson talk this entire documentary. It's whenever it's him and George, and George is like, remember the Ewoks? You know, like no fucks given. It's tremendous.
Yes, Molly.
Oh,
yes.
My God, it's so good.
Just like the
What is this channel? I agree. What is this channel? What are y'all doing here? Prestige Star Wars commentary.
Don't you guys have like actual Star Wars to talk about? Like, come on here. What's going on? No, welcome.
I gotta do that again. I gotta
you guys here.
I gotta see that again.
Please.
Well, this is also the cheap line.
Oh, they're okay. Good. I'm glad you guys finally. Yeah, there we go. Welcome.
Look at that
welcome
smirk.
To happy hour. That smirk is. Look at it. He's so pleased. Look at that.
Wait, here we go.
That was the secret to the whole thing.
Well, plus you had Rick McCallum.
Yeah.
This moment on, yeah. I was in the flight. I was on my 11-hour flight home. Chase is next to me. He's watching Conclave half awake. We're dying, by the way. I am just drained. So, and at this point on, I started to well up with tears because I was
yes,
because we haven't had a true Rick McCallum thing from him on Star Wars since 2012. He gave commentary about The Last Jedi in 2017, saying how much he loved he was saying how much he really enjoyed all the new projects that Star Wars is coming out with. That was the last time we've had him talk about anything Star Wars related. So this intro, and Alden and I talked about this in private. is absolutely peak. Let's watch it. Here's a clip.
This is the best intro. This is the
Ever.
best intro to a person, a character, a person of all time. Almost literal. That's what this guy, and the more we get like conversation,
yes, he's great.
He's great, but like he was terrified of Rick. You find out through these, which is great. Like I love this. We've all had that boss, right?
Yeah,
like
of course,
I've got
100%.
one right now and stuff. It's like a little like like when that boss is in the room, it's like it's a different atmosphere. That is Rick to a T.
Incredible. Okay, so he was at. Okay, I need to meet Fawn because he was one of my favorite people of this whole thing that I was not aware of.
We need to. I would love to have Fawn on the show. We need to like talk to Fawn like sincerely. Yeah. Let's get.
Just talk about Rick.
So and that takes about a third or half of the doors out. Half.
Rick is a fascinating character.
You're talking about till next Thursday?
By the way, cigarette inside office, no lighting, phenomenal. This is some bad.
This is
shit, man.
This man truly is.
my
They
God.
describe him as a mob boss, the 1,000-pound gorilla and mob boss, and he looks. Look at him right here. This is like this makes me want to pick up smoking. Like this right here, just this image alone. Like I want to drink coffee. I want to drink coffee at midnight and smoke like a Pall Mall, like at my desk, like to finish my night.
If you can look at his desk now, you only get this content.
It looks
from
like
us.
mine right now, honestly.
So if you look at mine's pretty bad too. If you look at his desk, you see a few things. You see his dad wallet, which I love. That means he sat down. He sat down.
Because it's too. I do that too because it's too fat. Yeah, the dad wallet. It's too fat to fit in your.
He did one of these.
A dad wallet is the thickness of a novella.
Okay.
If it's a true dad wallet,
I will do my best impression of this because this is how he does it. You ready? I say it's all in one motion too because I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Just the whole. You saw what I did? He tossed it and sat down. And then the next thing he did was he probably reached in his front pocket, whipped out a pack of cigarettes. This is either end or beginning of the day.
Is there a cigarette pack on the like what
No,
brand does Rick smoke? Do you think?
I
mean, he probably doesn't smoke anymore. I would say he's probably quit.
No. Listen to his voice. He certainly still smokes. His voice sounds like my mother's.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. It sounds. Yeah, he does. He sounds like my aunt and uncle from Texas. Is what he's
literally.
Like. Yeah.
So
yes. I couldn't go to their house. It made my head hurt.
Other things to observe. I think it's some sort of checkbook, maybe right there. On like the long with the thing folded open.
If Rick's got anything, it's the checkbook for the film.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
another important note. Shirt, obviously that button's unbuttoned, which makes sense. This is the end of the day, I think. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I love Rick because
It's been a rough day.
He does some of my favorite, like I guess you could say, isms where like you have your shirt cuffed up, not all the way.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of the way, you know?
Maybe you need to work on a Rick video or something like that.
Oh, an analysis?
That's a good one.
Gladly.
Yeah. Do a Rick analysis, like a Rickisms or something like that. Then we'll have George and Rick side by side. We can add on to the George for sure. But
clearly there's so much to work with. But I noticed
a sea of content.
Wedding band is on his right hand, which is technically not the place you wear it or he might have been divorced at this point. I don't know. It might be a right-handed.
It's not real if it's on. It's not real if it's on this one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's not real. I wonder if
I think of what Rick would say, like to that, like, dude.
I'll let some
They wear them on this hand in Prague.
Rick McCallum's daughter and I are friends on Instagram, so that's a little bit of a secret there. I'll say. So we've messaged about some stuff, but anyway, here's the next part. So 1,000-pound gorilla.
Yep, at the moment that's what the forecast is saying.
I've had Rick do some very, very generous things to me. And then there's also been, budget meetings and stuff. When I left his office, I thought I might bleed out on the way to my car.
You pay somebody $1,000.
Okay, wait, that's the best. That's from the beginning. This film is going to come out May 1999. no matter what.
That I love that this is the same font as the "you wouldn't steal a car" like anti-piracy like thing. It is the same exact font.
Wow.
This film is going to come out. You wouldn't release a film after May 1999, no matter what.
God,
$102 million to do the effects in this.
I gotta cut this up because I don't want any copyright things.
Yeah,
I want you to know, if this man had walked out on stage at Celebration Japan, I would have Beatled. Like, I would have been a Beatle girl. I think I would have actually passed the fuck out. I think I really would have
for that for a second.
screamed until I actually passed out like a 16-year-old girl at the Beatles in 1964. I would have 100% passed out.
Yes, no, Scotty would have. Yeah, Scotty would have shit him. Scotty would have shit himself in his seat and passed out. Like he was at like you were at like a Pentecostal church. You would have like just fallen over. Like absolutely.
So who would have dealt with me? Would have been this is who I was sitting next to. You ready? Trey on this side, Noah right here.
Oh my
then
God.
it would have been Charlie. Then it would have been Mark Newbold, and then Gus, or somewhere in the middle was Charlie. So they would have been the ones to have to explain to the Japanese EMS why their friend had a heart attack. because this man walked out on stage.
Yeah, this elderly surfer just walked out who helped make the Star Wars movies. He lives in Prague.
Louder outside.
He's such a mean girl. He's such a sloppy bitch, man. I love him so much.
I've told this story on air before, and I'll tell it again.
Yeah.
I'll tell two stories very briefly about this because they're two of my favorite stories I've ever been told. And look, I forget students' names, I have a lot of responsibility in my job, but these two stories will forever. I'll recall this when I'm having a dementia panic attack at 96 years old when you and I live together. Like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this will be the shit I remember.
That is gonna happen. I'll be 100 and you'll be in your 90s. Yeah.
Peter Mayhew's late wife told me the story about how Rick and them were all sharing, cigarettes in the back behind the stage for Star Wars weekends when Disney put those on in like 2010. And they're all smoking cigarettes, having a good time. And they're about to call Rick McCallum on stage. He's like, I need a bottle of water. Like, my voice is, scratchy. And so they're all smoking cigarettes. And this is what Angie Mayhew told me verbatim, because I had a Rick McCallum shirt on that I made. And she goes, oh, he was back there and Rick was hilarious. He did anything he wanted. He goes, he just told it like it was. He did whatever he wanted. And so he looked at the ashtray, like the cup of water ashtray that we were all putting our cigarettes out in. And he goes, when there's a will, there's a way. And he grabbed the cup of water ashtray and he drank half the cup and put it down because he needed a glass of water. That she told from her mouth. I met her. From her mouth.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, and the second story was
that is the king of the party right there.
I interviewed John Knoll, the director of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the game, and he said, because he worked on the Revenge of the Sith game as well, and he also worked on Attack of the Clones, like the Clone Wars. He worked on a lot of stuff, and of course Bounty Hunter. And he said he was on set for Revenge of the Sith, and someone had backed into Rick McCallum's Porsche, and he apparently came on set and lost his fucking mind, went crazy, like, what's one of you sons of bitches backed into my Porsche? And I just like, it's just it's so perfect of this man. It is. That's this man. Oh, it's honestly, Molly, I feel like you can get a little stoned off bong water. So,
well, I was gonna say you at least have like a good high or something off of that or something. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, okay. Here's the part we've all been waiting for, and we've spent a lot of time on this. I feel bad.
At least it's not like someone's like someone who does like dip. Or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, no. I hate those. Dip spit. Please, were you
unfortunate but true?
Oh,
there are some.
Were you surprised? Because this is the first time we've heard him speak in years.
Yeah.
Right. Were you surprised with like the change in his voice a little bit?
So I will say I've seen interviews that came out in like 2023, so I had heard it, and
Okay,
there was one
okay,
there
so
was
yeah.
one edit I made years ago called
It
Rick
was like a shock to my
McCallum.
system a little bit.
Oh, it
'cause I hadn't
was?
seen
Okay.
him. I hadn't seen him since like 2000.
So there was a video I made a few years ago called Rick McCallum Relaxation Aid, and he takes
Right.
he goes, he's interviewing some Prague film industry person, and he goes, "Do you mind if I take a quick hit off my cigarette?" And it was a vape, and like he takes a huge drain, and he goes, "Fantastic." And I heard the smoker's voice call him out, so I knew already that like it would probably had gotten worse, and it certainly
Right.
does. You can just tell he hadn't put it down, man. I don't give a shit. He's Rick
No,
McCallum.
hey, he said, why hang up the Spurs, man? You know, like, when you're the only gun in town, like why hang it up? You know,
Why?
Like, come on.
Oh, I gotta hear this next line because he's like,
Rick is the last original cowboy. So let's get okay. Please continue.
it's the part. Ellen was. What's so funny is, Jerry, and you'll understand this. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to show this. I wanted to like give kids, my students, like a assignment whenever I go, whenever I miss school or whatever. And like these documentaries are very clean.
They're very
until Rick
educational.
shows up.
Rick,
Until
yeah, when-
Rick shows up with this no cursing to this entire thing. He goes, "Some serious shit." I'm like, I can't show this to fourth graders. Fourth graders can't watch this.
I mean,
this will get me in trouble.
They bleeped most of his stuff out, like at the beginning and stuff like that. But just it was absolutely insane. Yeah, just it drops shit, all that kind of yeah. It all goes out the window with Rick.
Always. But yeah, I know that was one big thing for you. I got that out of the way for me because this was probably numero
I hear
uno
you.
for me. This is number one. That whole, and the fact that he's in all 3 episodes made me so happy. It wasn't just regulated to this appearance. I mean, he kept showing back up a lot, which made me so happy.
Absolutely. No, he was one of the talking heads on this episode. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. He was. This was number one for me. So I'm kind of glad you brought it up. God, we were on you.
Oh my God, Ken. Rick is Cad Bane.
Even though it must be done. I'm a bad guy now. Toto.
Bring me my blaster, Toto.
Okay, so what was your next Georgeism or anything that you know?
Oh, let's say I already went. So what was it? Or did you? Oh, this. Oh, we.
This ended up
combined.
being
See,
my
that's-
number one.
listen,
Yeah, that was my number
This is
one.
how good I am at doing shows. So okay, and I don't exactly remember where it's in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it is George describing things he wants in the Phantom Menace to Doug Chang. It's just like George talking a very tech because
He
it
was in the
was
audience.
Doug. It was when Doug was talking about how he got the job.
It was right
Like,
here.
for- Look at that. I mean, it's even kind of got like the tusked teeth.
Yes.
Like I think more of a concept art thing, if I remember correctly.
I would give off my first child for this, just to have this puppet.
I want this. This is like I love the style, the design of the Dougs in general. I
Yes.
mean, this was like Sebulba was the only one we had for a long time, and he is the classic. He is the
So wait.
Sebulba
Was
is the
the-
blueprint.
Was the Doug in the special editions added in 2012, or was the Doug in the special edition or 2011 technically?
It
Or
was
the
added
Doug-
when the DVD came out.
Okay, that's what I
'Cause
thought.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember freaking out because the Dougs were my favorite alien species for a little
Yeah.
while after the Phantom Menace came out. I just love everything from the fact that they walk on where their hands should be; those are their
Yes.
legs and stuff. And
Yes.
like that was interesting. They're kind of a dinosaur / dragon / I
Asshole.
don't know, like monkey, yeah, like asshole, yeah, kind of a thing. It's just it's a great creature design,
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
and that
It's
puppet
like-
is beautiful.
The puppet is so cool, dude. Of like, well, even though we put our hearts, everything into it, it was very clear that it was not a well-received movie. But not a soul complained about the VFX. It was all about the Jar Jar of it all.
Well, that was
So-
that's the beginning of the next episode, which the second episode was very hard for me. Are we on? Oh, we're on episode 2 right here.
This
Okay,
is
we go.
episode 2. Yeah, just
I don't know if we want to talk any about, because we've talked about this before, like the reception
Mhm.
was doing.
They were so convinced that Jar Jar was a thing that they question Ahmed about Jar Jar's characteristics, which should not be the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you want to go to someone about that, you probably should go to George Lucas about it. And like, obviously, Ahmed even addresses it. Like, he is the first male or person ever to do this, much less a person of color, right? And then he
Right.
even brings up the fact that like this is a classic thing that happens with all art, where a white person then takes it over and is known for it. And I'm not going to say he's referring directly to Gollum, but he is clearly referring directly to, you know, the Smeagol Gollum performance from Lord of the Rings. You know,
it's right there. I mean,
it's
that
right
happened.
there.
That happened. We all watched it happen and
Yes,
stuff.
we
You know,
did.
we saw the resurgence of him saying, and it is true. Like, he was the first full actual motion cap. He was the pioneer.
Yep.
You know,
and that's the part that got me emotional. Obviously, they talk about his, you know,
Well-
his very famous, you know, almost suicide attempt, and like
Yeah.
how heavy that was. That made me sob.
I was sobbing on my couch.
Mhm.
And again, we've had a lot of fun tonight, and not to, but this is very important. It's important to
It
talk
was.
about.
Yeah.
It's important for him to say this. It's important to, and just like that, man, the way he tells that story, we had seen it. Like, here's what you did. I'm going to show you. I want to show you, like, it's like critics, honestly,
Yep.
you see a lot.
Yep.
They had a big hand in it as well, apparently. So
Yeah. Well, one thing too, to speak to all this, is even the simple idea of like, it really came down to the fact that that Jar Jar, and he mentions this, is not just Ahmed Best. It's Rob Coleman. It's the whole team in ILM.
It's
George. Like,
it's a
this
team of people.
This character wasn't just a singular character. This character was thousands of people's work rolled into one single thing. And it was the first of its kind. And I did not realize the sequence at which Jar Jar came to life, with the sense of it being, okay, you're gonna be a character. We're gonna model the face and see if we can work with that.
Yeah, it's just gonna
now
be
we're
the
gonna do the
head.
neck and the shoulders. Okay, this is not working. We're gonna do fully animated based on your actual, you know, movements and design. Okay, perfect. That's cool. And then they go, actually, we've got this thing called mocap, and we're gonna put these little dots on you. We're gonna send you out there, send your actual movements into a computer, and then animate you based on that. Which is like so many realizations in a single production that then changed everything. Think about
forever.
Think about the Planet of the Apes films, the most recent one, right?
Yeah.
The whole
with
movie was
someone
that.
leading who shall remain nameless, I guess.
Yes,
You know, a
yes.
little, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not. Listen, we're not gonna throw any shade, I guess.
No.
But yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I mean, we even have the Avatar films.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the Avatar films that me and you love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without Jar Jar,
absolutely.
none of this landscape would exist the way it has and has
Exactly.
been and will continue to exist. And I hope that people will forever remember Ahmed Best for that. And I hate that Jar Jar is usually the first thing that comes to mind when most of these people think about, you know, this actor and this person's extremely impressive talents. I just know that I don't know. I just know that his impact on cinema is as important, truly, as like the idea of film itself. I know that sounds silly, but like it is crucial. It is crucial to how we take in entertainment now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was one of my bigger mentions, and I've got like one or two more that I want to bring up. But if you got anything else you want to bring up, we can.
Well, I mean, while we're on Ahmed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, you know, my last one that I wrote down, and it's a little more of a serious filmmaking one, but I loved learning that Ahmed had a hand in helping choreograph the Yoda.
Oh
Dooku
yes,
You remember where it's like
Hold on,
he
right
brought
here.
Rob Coleman. He's I brought him home and like we
Mhm.
he showed him like all these different anime.
This documentary, crazy enough to me, is for like we talk about this in our group chats. This is like for the 10% of fans. This is not this is not the one your aunts and uncles are gonna watch. This is not the ones your cousins or maybe even your siblings are gonna watch. This is the
I can
stuff.
force my parents to watch this with me. They will
Yes.
watch it with me,
But
but
they'll
they
like
will
it.
not get as much. They'll be like, oh, that's interesting.
Thing too to address about it. One of my all-time favorite things that Rob Cohen brings up is the arm shaking, because I've always noticed that Yoda does have a little bit of a
The
shake,
wobbly ears.
and a little
Yeah.
wobbly ears is amazing, and like
Yeah.
the Yoda facial expression moment. Like I never thought about how key that is to sell the digital, character. Now the other part that got me so excited was, and this is something I never thought I'd see ever in my life, is when Yoda does the monologue from one to bring up real quick.
No, my last one, my last moment was the Yoda outtake.
Oh my God! Yes. I got it. I
And
got
that,
it.
like there is, but while you're looking for that, there was one last Georgism, and it was in this episode when he's talking to him about how Yoda fights, because he was like, I think he said, picture him as the Tasmanian devil, and then
Mhm.
he just did him like spinning a bunch,
Mm-hmm.
and he said,
Think of him as the illegitimate child of Kermit and Miss Piggy.
or something, and like
Oh.
George, that's one of my footnotes here. One of my bullet points is George saying Yoda, think of Yoda as the illegitimate child of Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Piggy.
Is
Incredible.
so funny, and it's so accurate too.
That's incredible.
Because he wanted him to jump around. He's like,
Yep.
like their illegitimate child. So.
Like, it's really awesome. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're really bringing this up right now. Oh, here we go.
Okay, yeah. Here's the
No more, no less.
Which one was destroyed?
I have one more damn line, Chris. Will you give me a break? Frank was hilarious.
Like even the little hand gesture of him hitting his staff down. Is
Yeah.
Can you give me a break?
I just like you. Yeah.
I have
I love
one
them.
more damn line, Chris. Will you give me a break? Frank was hilarious.
Incredible.
But I mean, it's like, Frank Oz is just a talented performer all around. I love the Muppets. I love all the stuff that he's involved with.
Of course.
And with the Muppets are like, what is it? Aren't they? Are they 70? Celebrating 70 years right now?
The Muppets. I thought they came. Well, I guess you might be right, because he was doing commercials in the 50s.
Well,
so you're probably right.
It's on Disney Plus. They have like a section right now. I'm trying to think what anniversary it is, but it is like they are celebrating an anniversary right now of the Muppets. Just like if Frank and the Muppets, like just they stay in character past.
Wow.
But just, and then that moment is just fun because that is classic Muppets, because they just keep going and riffing when the cameras are off, because they got to stay in character.
Yeah.
I think there's like a moment later where like they're talking about like Yoda would just die because Frank's hand would just like go down,
Oh yeah, they take it out and it just Yoda would just
just
collapse
just
there.
pass out. Yeah. But just like whenever they finally do switch him over to the digital character, and they all like Rob and them all get the letter from Frank.
Yes.
Saying that they absolutely hit the sweet spot.
Oh,
and
it's so
that he is so
cool.
proud. And it was like, now all I have to do is come and record the lines, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. Ken, listen, we're gonna have to have a conversation about the Muppets, my man. I'm telling you. I was gonna say I don't know as much, but I'm a big.
That's Jerry's thing.
Oh, you get an interview. Ooh, I'm gonna have to read that interview. Go check out Ken's interview with Frank. That sounds fantastic. I'm gonna do that.
So a few more like last, honorable mentions, things that I wanted to bring up that Jerry also kind of brought up tangentially. It was just like, I don't know. I love them going into every movie and what was unique, and the lava part of Mustafar was really surprising. Like this whole scene looked so, look at that. That is a giant miniature. I I love, and you'll remember this, as well, but I love when they talk about the push to digital filmmaking. That was so cool. And talking about how George would look at a set and think about how can I innovate this to make this more streamlined. And then he's like, let's get rid of film entirely and project things digitally. I'm like, this, because by the time this movie came out, most theaters were projecting digitally. Like I remember.
Yeah, they had started to put it in. Right.
It looked better. Even as a kid, I was like, this looks brighter, this looks sharper, this looks better than most of the other like actual projections we saw up until that point. Because this was the first movie that was a high-res digital movie,
Right.
Oh, so there's that thing I wanted to mention, and I'm gonna go through it real quick. It's towards the end of this one. I love my wife's favorite animated movie of all time is Rango, and I love when they bring up Rango because when we went and toured Lucasfilm with Pablo a couple of years ago, summer of 2023, after we got married, that was the one thing that I was like, for me, that was an incredible experience. But Katie loved this movie growing up, and from her, to be like, this character that you're seeing right here was made at this building, and here's the actual model they scanned, and like I was showing her that, and I'm like, this is such a cool moment that without each other we wouldn't get to this point. And like Rango in its own weird way is like this incredible mix. It's one of the first fully animated ILM movies ever. 3D animated ILM movies. I mean, it was all of it was made by ILM, all in a digital environment, and it's arguably one of the best looking animated movies still to this day. And they talk about why.
Oh, this was insane too. We're talking about like all the models for the buildings and everything.
All of it was crazy. I just couldn't believe it, and like how they were inspired by There Will Be Blood, and like I don't know. They talk about what made this movie, and I just like the digital. Like Tin Pan Alley, like the digital, sets and how they filmed it, and how they even addressed things like Avatar being cutting edge, and that they didn't take the bid on Avatar, and how big of a mistake that was, because Weta got Avatar, and like they even talked about other VFX shops like towards the end of this. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they talk about a lot about Weta, right? You're saying, yeah, absolutely.
I was shocked that they brought up other VFX shops because it was just ILM for the longest time, and then now it's so much more. It's not just ILM. You know what I mean?
They're not the only game in town. Yeah, they've got competition.
They talk
about
that.
ILM is typically that's who the big dogs go for, right?
Yep.
Like that's who, like Spielberg is always going to go to ILM.
Yep.
Spielberg loves ILM. You're going to have all those guys. James Cameron,
Robert Zemeckis.
James Cameron did, I guess, go.
I think ILM now does work on the Avatar series. Like I think they think
you're right.
In it.
Well, yeah, they didn't do the first Ghostbusters. They did Ghostbusters 2. So
exactly,
which is clearly a more important film.
Much
than
more
Avatar,
important film.
or the Avatar sequels. So
so this has been an amazing conversation just about this stuff alone, man. I will say my other honorable mentions was early FaceTime. I don't know how they did it. I love that they always just have these random, just like maybe it was like closed circuit television FaceTime systems. I couldn't believe it. I just nuts. It's like Rick is in Australia
or something.
Yeah. Rick is in Australia. George is at Skywalker Ranch. And then Frank Oz is somewhere else. You're like, how are they doing this in 2003?
What's going on?
Oh, we invented it. We needed a way to talk with seeing face and facial movements.
Oh my God.
We invented FaceTime.
This to me, as much as I love the first one and what the first one really stood for, the first season, this to me, in terms of content and in terms of directorial decisions, was a really good step up. Like just how they told the Light and Magic season 2 story. So I was happy it was 3 episodes. 6 is great, but it was 6 45 minutes, and this was 3 1 hour. So like,
3
you really
3 hour
you really kind of had 4 episodes if you really think about it. You know what I mean? Just the idea of like extra 15 minutes on each one. But nothing made me happier than on that flight home when I saw that each one was an hour. And I'm like, oh,
I was gonna say you're gonna knock out a big chunk of this trip. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Yes,
oh.
absolutely.
And I'm so glad we could talk about this, Jerry. we know how
Same.
much this means to each other, and like if you live near me, this would be what we put on and just watch together.
Yeah, we
You
would
know what
just
I
be
mean?
like me and Scotty would be sitting there drinking chocolate milk watching
Yep.
these. Yeah, for
We've
Scotty's
watched the
student-
gallery together. Like we've watched
Yeah.
stuff together in person, but like this is our absolute wheelhouse.
This would be another level. No, we would be like, can you imagine like the pausing that would happen and
Every
stuff
2
like that, like
seconds.
and the stumbling up to the screen, you know, just laden with chocolatey milky goodness.
Yes,
going like,
fingertips.
look here, look at his lip
Did
right
you
here.
notice this?
Look at did you notice his eyebrow is up 2 inches right here?
Oh.
Yes, absolutely. I love you, and I love everyone
love
in the
you too.
chat. And thank you guys
Yes.
for sticking with us. I know we've had a lot of people come in and out, and that's fine. This is a revolving door of friendship, and we're excited to
Always.
have you all here always. So thank you.
Always has been and always will be. That's what the Bombadcast stands for. To hype up next week, we plan on doing a big Andor discussion, and we're gonna have some like a big, I guess, wheelhouse of guests.
Big
Hopefully,
round table. Yeah,
we're gonna start
yeah.
reaching out to people soon, and we already have a few lined up that were expressing interest in this. So we're gonna look at Andor all of season 2. We're gonna talk about our favorite moments and look at what it did really well and things that it could have done better. And we're gonna talk about how I fell asleep during every episode, even though it was good. It just doesn't.
That happened a couple weeks for me, but I was just, you know,
Yeah.
like I just started second shift. I
Yeah.
think that's why we're starting a little later. I know I saw like we had
Yes.
people like wondering what time. I don't know if we like have fully like said that. Like
We haven't announced it yet.
we're starting a little later. It's
figuring it
because
out.
I've started a second shift. We're finding. I think this still works pretty good. We're
Mhm.
still like feeling it out and stuff like that. So but stick with us, and we're happy that you guys stick with us.
You will get
know?
Andor coverage. You will get Andor
Yes,
coverage.
it is coming, but just
it'll be next week.
with the release
We got a lot.
schedule and with all the stuff that we took a couple weeks off,
Yep.
obviously because Scotty was touring Japan, like tearing shit up there, and
Promoting this book.
I was Scotty was being an author out there. Yes, panel leader, or is that what that's called? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Panelists.
But no, so we are we have kind of moved stuff around and stuff, but like we wanted to talk about Andor, but with the release schedule the way it was, it just really works. We both agreed that if we just wait till the end and just have a big round table
Look at
discussion,
a big idea. Yeah.
it would be a lot better for what we do.
Mhm.
So
and another cool thing about all this is even the idea that we'll have a hot bombad summer after that. So pretty much, literally, I'm
it's
not
gonna
kidding.
be egg videos as far as the eggs.
Oh.
There might actually be an episode. There might be an episode on something that I haven't started watching yet, but I got it right back here, Scotty. I don't know if you saw. Oh, Scotty got me a gift.
Oh, I'll pull it up big.
Should I even show it? Should I even show what
do
it is?
Do it. Yeah, do
Should I even
it.
show it is? Because I don't want to like it. We got look. We got. Oh, Ghost Negotiator, Tenma. That's right.
Unbelievable.
Ghost Security Company. Yes, that is a Japanese version, kind of Ghostbusters. I'm
Yep.
about to dive into it.
I
probably
hope
this
there's
weekend.
subtitles. I hope there's subtitles. Even if there
I hope
isn't,
it's
you'll
not.
be good.
I hope there's not. I hope that I have to learn Japanese, and
You're
I
just gonna
will
force yourself.
do it. I will do it. But no, we are definitely. Oh, we got. Okay, hold on. Let's do a Muppets episode. Okay,
Down.
I'm Ken. I'm totally down. I'm such a
Down.
Muppet head. I love it.
When you do
Muppet
big-
head.
when you do
I'm a
the-
Muppet head in that I'm into
Wait.
the Muppets, and also my head kind of looks like a Muppet. I look
We've
like
talked
Grover.
about this. We did the Hello Kitty Star Wars episode. We got to do the Muppet Babies episode
Yeah,
with
do the
Star
Muppet
Wars.
Babies episode, but
That's
also
right.
like we should do an episode about the Muppet show where they have Luke Skywalker.
Oh, Mark Hamill. Yeah.
And Mark Hamill does make an appearance, but it is Luke
It
Skywalker.
is Luke.
The entire
It's
one.
true.
We should do one about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh, by the way, shout out to Brian. I gotta give you a little secret here. Brian helped cover all the shipping for this stuff to you and Eleanor. So I bought
Oh.
everything. Him and I made a deal where like either he'll buy stuff or I'll buy stuff. So I decided to buy everything, and then Brian covered the shipping of all of it to you and Eleanor.
But that
So
is,
it all-
oh my
it
god,
all-
you guys
it
are so
all
sweet.
arrived.
By the way, my Eleanor loved her stuff from the
Did you-
actual Pokemon store.
Did you
Yeah.
like? They call it a Pokemon Center, which is even cooler. Like
Pokemon Center, which is
yeah,
even
yeah.
more like you are actually
You're
in
there.
Pokemon. Yeah. No, I've
did you
got
like your
I've got to
shirts?
take her there. I love my shirts. I almost wore the shirt tonight. I'm
Did
saving
you really?
the shirt for a special occasion. I'm saving the shirt.
I
for a
showed
special
Brian
occasion.
the Max Rebo shirt.
I love
and I was
it.
like,
I love
this
it
is
so
what I
much.
bought
It's
for our boy.
fantastic. And yeah, no, I love it. We loved the Team Rocket cards. and
Yes,
stuff like that. That was
yes.
great. She was like, "Oh, it's all Team Rocket." She was so
Yep,
excited.
all Japanese too.
Yeah,
She opened
listen,
them?
you guys are the best. What's that?
She opened them. Oh,
She
dope.
opened. Oh, and she went through them and stuff. She's like, "What's this one? Oh, look, it's Meowth. What's it say?" And stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I used my iPhone translator. and it
Yes.
could barely make it make heads or tails. But it was like a Team Rockets Meowth is what it says basically.
Oh man, yes, I did. I hooked Jared up with some rosebuds. I only bought for
Scotty's
two of my
the goat with
closest
gift
friends.
giving. Scotty
I
is one
got-
of the best gift givers.
I got Jared what he wanted, and I got Jerry secretly things he wanted. So it's been a great
I
adventure.
didn't ask for any of this, but
Nope.
I wanted it. I was so.
Of course.
I got this the night that last Arc of Andor came out, and like I had to watch it. I was this close. I was this close to just putting on Ghost Negotiator. Ghost Negotiator Tinema.
Starting
I
it.
was this close. I wanted to. I haven't yet. I haven't had a chance to yet.
I can't wait.
So we'll have to.
You got her this
Anyway.
weekend or no? You don't have her this weekend. I don't
No,
remember.
no, no. I don't have Ellie. She does not like
Oh.
Ghost Negotiators, apparently.
That's
so
okay.
yeah, no. Anyway,
Those things happen.
it happens.
I love you. I'm glad we could talk.
Love you too.
I'm glad we could talk about this in particular. Thank you everyone for joining this evening. It's been an absolutely blast of a night. Be able to hang out with all
Yeah,
you.
we love
Live
to hang
Magic
out.
season 2 was tremendous. I can't wait to rewatch it again. It's kind of been a little bit of a comfort show. I've watched it 3 times, which is
That's incredible.
I
love
mean,
that.
it came out April 18th. So
Yeah.
one thing I did not mention, this is the last thing I'm gonna mention. At the panel, when Rob Coleman and Ahmed Best walked out, they talked about how that was the first time they saw each other in person after 20 years, which
Are
got
you
me
serious?
yes. And
That oh
that
my
was
god.
it was awesome.
I would have
It
been a
was
puddle
awesome. Yep.
on the floor. That's incredible.
Now seeing the
Well,
documentary, I was like, wow, that is amazing.
That's
So
beautiful. I love that. Like, yeah, no, this is I love this. I love you. I love everyone out there. And to quote George from the back of that Olive Garden manager's office from the Phantom Menace panel video that he made.
If you came here because of the Georgisms video, I love you.
and what should they do?
Yeah, we do.
What should they do though?
Oh, what? Oh, and which they do. Sorry. I can't hear. The wonderful people should stay
Bombad.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? Alzheimer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
And a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no
dream of being gone for long. See you in a little bit.